All right, tonight we'll be looking at another very important topic. To manifest, you need to shut up your mouth. What exactly does this mean? How do you go about it? What are the implications of not shutting your mouth? Those are the things we'll be discussing today. But before I start, let me start again by quoting the scripture that states that we can understand God by studying the creation or work of his hand. He said, the invisible things of him are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and God earth, so that they are without excuse. Another translation says the eternal power and character of God cannot be seen. But from the beginning of creation, God has shown that what these are like by what he has made. So what he has made give us an idea of what these look like. God has shown what these are like by what he has made, and that is why those people don't have any excuse. So I would like to state that some of the languages used in scriptures are based on the limitation and understanding of the people at that time, knowing fully well that the people wrote based on their understanding of what they see, what they heard, and what they experience. If the scripture is going to be written today, you are going to see some changes in the language, I believe. You are going to see the word like energy, frequency, and vibration. Energy, frequency, and vibration. For example, love, joy, and peace make you to be at a high frequency of vibration, but anger, hatred, and fear make you to be at a low frequency of vibration. Anger, hatred, fear make people to do evil. And that is why as long as you are in Christ, which means you are full of love, joy, and peace, evil power cannot harm you because you are above them due to your high frequency of vibration. This is why as a believer, you want to keep yourself holy. You want to live that life pleasing to God because the system God has designed on the earth is to make you to be at a high frequency of vibration as a result of those traits. And as long as you're at a high frequency of vibration, evil power cannot hurt you. This is why you cannot be a believer and be afraid of the devil. And be afraid is a sign you don't seem to have a good understanding of who you are. Of who you are. Because if indeed you know who you are, it will change the way you see yourself, the things you see and how you reason, because you know who you are. But unfortunately, we don't know who you are. As a matter of fact, sometimes religion makes us to think less of ourselves. We're not even conscious of what we have or what we are capable of doing. The only reason why someone will backslide is because he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know what he is capable of by virtue of his relationship with God. So that means the relationship he has is plastic. It's not real. And quite frankly, a lot of people are in that kind of relationship. Relationship is plastic, it's not real. They are not, there's no serious relationship. I mean, you being in a relationship with God and know why you are in it. Because the only reason, sincerely, you will say you don't want a relationship with God again or with Christ again is because nothing is added, no value is added, no value is added. And it's because you don't understand, you really don't understand who you are and what you are capable of doing. And that is the challenge of religion. You just believe, you don't know why you believe. You just do, you don't know why you do. In fact, sometimes when you do it out of fear of not going to hell. So some people really don't love God. The reason they are doing what they are doing is because they don't want to go to hell. They don't love God. But they are forced to serve him because let's pretend to be because, I don't want to go to hell. Not really because they love God. Not really because they love God. Love, joy, and peace keep you at a high frequency of vibration. That's why you should forgive. That's why you should live a life of holiness and righteousness. That's why you should not allow the circumstances and situation around you to influence how you feel. But rather, you always want to be at a high frequency of vibration. At a high frequency of vibration. Because it's good for you. Beyond making it to heaven at the end, it's good for you here on earth. It's good for your health, by the way. It protects you. You don't know it protects you. It protects you from the evil forces and power. They cannot touch you. He said that he that is born of God, he that is born of God, he that is born of God, the wicked one toucheth him not, because he's born of God. The wicked one toucheth him not. We know that whosoever is born of God sinneth not. But he that is begotten of God keepeth himself. Listen to that. He that is begotten of God keepeth himself. He that is begotten of God keepeth himself. And guess what? The wicked one cannot touch him. He that is because he keep himself in holiness and righteousness. And because he keep himself, the wicked one cannot touch him. So why will you be afraid of the devil? Afraid of Satan? When the Bible already says that as long as you keep your... And the reason is, if you now maybe it will be clear to you that it's not that God is standing by you and covering you. No, he has put a system in place already that keep you safe. Because you are already... Evil forces is a vibration, it's a frequency. You also are a vibration at a frequency, but you are at a higher level, so they cannot touch you. I'm saying this to let you know that living right is good for you on earth, beyond heaven, right here. So you're not doing it for anybody. You're not doing it to please someone. You are doing it for your own sake. That's why I said, when you know what Christianity is about, there are some things you will not do. You are not getting, particularly, I deal with a lot of teenagers, sometimes they are doing something to get back at their parent, thinking they are hurting their parent by being stupid and foolish. Not knowing that they are hurting themselves because they don't even know. So immediately you know why you should live this way. You are not doing it because of anybody. You're not helping anybody. You're doing it for yourself. Let's move on to today's conversation so I don't get carried away because I'm already getting into that conversation. Now, to manifest, you need to shut up. Shut the fuck up. Let me start by saying consciousness is contagious beyond the third dimensional physical realm. And it affects the other plane of existence, the mental, and of course, the spiritual. By consciousness, I mean information transmitted through your mind and feeling, and this is very contagious. The information transmitted through your mind and feeling is very contagious. That's when you enter a room, if you're in a room and someone enter, or you are the one that enter, you can feel If there is love in that room, you can feel it. If there is tension in that room, you can feel it. Consciousness is contagious. If you are around excited people, you are likely to be excited. If you are around depressed people, you are likely to be depressed. This basically means that anyone you come across has a potential to affect your frequency and the frequency you are emitting. Also note that emotion, which is energy in motion, emit a vibratory signature called frequency, which corresponds to a particular reality. Therefore, if you stay around people that emit a frequency not in line with your desired reality, this has the potential to corrupt the frequency of your desired reality. It is important to state that the stronger your frequency, the higher the chance of manifesting your desired reality. The strength of your frequency is determined by the clarity of what you want. So you need to be very clear about what you want. If the clarity of your desired frequency is corrupted, the strength of your desired reality is weakened. And this delay the manifestation process. So it's important that you know for each and every person you meet daily in your life, you know how to interact with them. Do you know that you really don't interact with people? You interact with their frequencies. You don't interact with people, you interact with their frequencies. When you read a book, you don't read a book. You read your own frequency because that determines what you're able to pick up from the book. So when you interact with people, so some people say, this guy is toxic. This guy is loving and caring. Some people you just meet, you have not spoken. They look amiable. You just connect. You have not spoken, no? It's frequency. It's frequency. It's frequency. It's frequency. Some people call it vibes. Vibes. I like his vibes. I like our vibe. What you are saying that you like their vibration. And remember, vibration compound to form frequency. Please note that there are no people. There are only frequency. So you attribute someone to be who they are because of their frequency and their consciousness. When you meet someone, you don't meet them, you meet their level of consciousness and their level of frequency. And this is very important. This is very important. That's why there are some people you cannot talk to. You know, some of you have been here for a while, so you're at a frequency already. As I'm talking, you can pick it. But someone listening to me for the first time might find it a bit difficult. Why? Because they need to now come to that level. You don't meet people, you meet their level of consciousness. You meet their frequency. That means when you meet people, what you really meet is their frequency. What you really meet is their level of consciousness. So you don't meet people, you meet their level of consciousness. If you don't know how to deal with people's consciousness or frequency, their consciousness or frequency will deal with you. If you cannot pick it up and know how to deal with it, so you know when you say, okay, I think I have to avoid this guy now. I'm not sure I want to have this conversation. Because he's already saying something that you don't even want to hear because of the influence it's having on your mind. So you need to be able to be very conscious of how your frequency is being altered. You need to be very conscious of how your frequency is being altered by the kind of people that you meet in your daily interaction, because this goes a long way to affect your reality. This goes a long way to affect your reality. So look at two young graduates at different frequency. One believe there are no jobs. The other believe there are jobs. One believe there are no opportunities. The other believe There are opportunities. The one that has the no job frequency will never see opportunity to get a job. And the one with frequency for job opportunity will always get a job. This is because there is no truth in your reality other than what your subconscious mind has accepted as true. If you say there's no job in Nigeria, you are right. If you say there's no opportunity in Nigeria, you are right. If you say Nigeria is a crap, you are right. If you say Nigeria is a zoo, you are right. If you say Nigeria is the best place to be in the world, you are correct. Because all truths that you have accepted in your life are half truth. All. The only truth that does not change is Jesus, because he is the truth. But your belief system you have accepted as true is half. You know why? If you can change what you believe, it will change your life. So you've held the truth that this country is a terrible country. I don't think I can make it in this country. In fact, there's no opportunity in this country. This country is a very terrible place. This country, can we even get out of this? Can we ever? In fact, there are no jobs in this country. There's no money in this country. There's no opportunity in this country. You see those things you are saying? Believe me, you are very correct. You are very correct. Believe me, you are very correct. But if you are the school of thought that says, there are opportunities in Nigeria. There's money in this country. There are jobs in Nigeria. This is the best place to be. Guess what? You are right. Because there's no truth in reality other than what your subconscious mind have accepted as true. Why? When you believe something, that affect immediately you believe something. When I mean believe, you know this for truth. It affects your emotion. When you know you have believed something is when someone is saying something against it, you have cognitive dissonance. You find it difficult to agree. You find it that's when the thing is deep-seated in you. You find it difficult to agree. As in, it can even make you to have a day. How can he be talking like this? Now, when you are at that point, your emotion is merged to it, and the emotion is energy in motion. It's an energetic vibration that compounds to a frequency that attracts to you similar things that confirm to you there are no jobs, there are no opportunity, this country is a scrap. And if it's positive, you will begin to attract it also. So I render services, I have product, they are premium price, and I believe I will sell it, and I sell it. Why? Because I know there's money in Nigeria. I know there's money in Nigeria. I sell it. Why? Because I know there's money in this country. There's opportunity in this country. Not because there are no challenges, but that does not deny the fact that there are opportunity in this country. That's what I see. If you don't see it, you will never seize it. If you don't see it, you will never seize it. Because that's my belief. That is, so it affects my emotion, which is energy in motion, which is an energetic vibration compounded to a frequency. So I'm vibrating at a frequency that attract that reality to me. That attract that reality to me. That make me come across that reality. There is no truth in reality other than what your subconscious mind have accepted as true. So you need to be careful the people around you, because you stand the chance to fall victim of their subconscious mind, just the way they are already a victim of their own subconscious mind, because we are all victim of our subconscious mind, which is why you need to reprogram your subconscious mind so that it will help you to be at a frequency that attracts you what you want. Always remember that you are not always dealing with people. Please note that. You are dealing with their frequencies. You are interacting with their frequencies. That is what affects what they see. That is what affects what they hear. That is what that's why sometimes you say something and the person just interprets it in a weird way. You say, you mean what I said now? This is what you can say. Say, yes. What does it mean? This is what you are saying now. This is what you are saying. And you're wondering, you have never even thought of it that way. How on earth will someone think this way? This is not what I mean. Now, why are you thinking this way? No, you are dealing with their frequency. It affects the way they see. It affects the way they see. This is why a foreigner coming to Nigeria, he sees the challenges. The only thing he sees is opportunity in the midst of that challenge. But we in Nigeria, we don't see the opportunity. Because you don't see with your eyes, you see with your mind, you see based on your frequency. You see based on your frequency. Take the idea of school with a bunch of people in it. The people are put in classes based on their level of their intellect. That is exactly what happened in the God system of the universe. The universe is a school, and people are put in classes based on their level of consciousness. I'll repeat that. The God system of universe is a school, and people are put in classes based on their level of consciousness. Based on their level of consciousness. Based on their level of consciousness. Based on their level of consciousness and frequency, and this determines their life experiences. When it comes to materialization of your desired reality, the frequency you are in puts you in a box. Please note that. The frequency you are in puts you in a box. The frequency you are in puts you in a box. The frequency you are in puts you in a box. That's why you cannot see. You know, someone finished school. He doesn't even think of any other possibility of what can happen. He didn't even think of what he can do. As in, some people finish school, they already know, look, maybe I finish, I want to do my master in this particular country. I want to do my PhD in this particular country. I want to live in this particular country. I want to live in this particular place. I want to do, as in, they are seeing a great future for themselves. Some people cannot see it. Why? Your frequency puts you in a box. I will repeat this statement again. The universe, the God system of the universe is a school. And people are put in classes based on their level of consciousness, based on their frequency. And this is what determines the reality of their life, the experiences of their life. Because you are dealing with frequency of people, when you relate with them, that means they will not be able to support your desired reality beyond their mental limitation. That is why you need to shut the fuck up. That is why you can't be talking about your dream to people that cannot see it. To people that will make you to think that you are foolish and stupid. In fact, they believe you are delusional to even think of that in the first place. You are delusional to think of that in the first place. Because you are dealing with people, not their dealing with frequency of people, they will not see and they will not be able to support you. If you allow them, they will drag you to their own level of frequency. They will drag you to their prison and they will lock the door. They will drag you into their box and they will shut it. This is how dreams are killed. This is how dreams are destroyed. This is how dreams are killed. This is how dreams are destroyed. This is why there are some people you cannot share your vision with. You need to just shut up your mouth. Because they will give you 1,001 reasons why you are a delusion or you are delusional for you to even imagine that you want to do that in the first place. The moment you expect them to understand you rather, the moment you expect to be understood by these people around you, you try to explain to them. Guess what? They drag you into their own world. You need to be comfortable with people not understanding your vision, not understanding your dream, not understanding your desired reality. You need to be comfortable with people not understanding you, not understanding your vision. Don't try to convince them that this is possible. Why? Why do you need to convince them that it's possible? Why do you need to convince them that it's possible? You don't deal with people, you deal with their frequency. Trying to convince them is hitting hard on a wall, hitting hard on a rock. You will hurt yourself. They can't see what you are saying. Don't you get it? Don't you get it? Why are you surprised? Why are you shocked? They can't see it. If you allow them, they will drag you into their prison. They will shut the door. Trying to get people that are not on your frequency to understand you will most likely destroy you because you will be forced to come down to their level. Don't expect people to go beyond their mental box. Don't expect people to go beyond their mental box. Don't expect people to go beyond their mental box. Don't expect people to go beyond their mental box. Don't expect people to go beyond their mental box. That is why they will mock you when they hear your desired reality. That is why they will mock you when they hear your desired reality. Don't expect people to go beyond their mental box. Ladies and gentlemen, your frequency puts you in a box. Your frequency puts you in a box. Your frequency puts you in a box. So, you are in a different class. Remember, I will repeat that statement again. The God system of the universe is a school. And the people are put in classes based on their level of consciousness. You are in primary 5. You are talking to someone in primary 2, and you expect him to understand. You expect him to understand. You expect him to understand you. You must be delusional yourself. So this is the reason you argue with people you have no business arguing with. This is the reason you're trying to convince someone you have no reason trying to convince, because he cannot see what you are saying. He's in primary 2, you are in primary 5. Why are you trying to give him double promotion? But he doesn't want it. People have mental box, and they have been put in that mental box by their frequency. So you need to avoid talking to people about your desired reality, because telling them when they have a mental box will make them to tell you why it is not possible. This emotion, the emotion of humiliation, the emotion of ridicule, the emotion of embarrassment, the emotion of discouragement is contagious. This makes you to begin to believe them, thereby emitting a frequency that will make it impossible to achieve that desired reality. So they say it, they begin to make you see why what you are saying cannot happen, or will not happen, or it's not possible. you will now begin to see why what you want to do is not possible. They create fear in you. They make you feel less of yourself, feel ridicule. If you are not conscious of what is going on, you will drop that idea. You will drop that idea. Because they already told you, you want to get a job in that kind of place. Oh, it's only people of this caliber, politician children, that have job in that place. It's only this kind of people that have job. That's not possible. You can't. And you will not say, "Ah, it's true. Okay, that's true." See the point, that important point he raised. I didn't think of that. Oh, that's not possible. You now begin to rationalize and begin to bring in logic. You know, this is related to the concept of evil eye. What some people call evil eye. Let me talk about the concept of evil eye. It is that the awareness of your success by those who wish you bad will affect you. The evil eye is that the awareness of your success by those who wish you bad will affect you. Now, do you know that? You know, there's a lady, this is very funny. Okay, there is a lady who has an aunt in Lagos, and he told the aunt, I'm coming to Lagos for NYSC. So he walked his NYSC to Lagos. He walked his NYSC to Lagos. When he arrived in Lagos, he called his aunt in Lagos. The aunt in Lagos has gone to Canada. And the aunt did not tell anybody he's relocating, so that they will not mess up his visa or make them to deny him entry when he get to Canada border post. Deny entry when he get to border post. Can you imagine that? Just imagine that. This girl rather, had to find a friend who is serving in another state, who had to beg her siblings and relatives and mother to accommodate this lady in Lagos. This lady, then I heard the story because eventually she's serving in my wife's school. When I heard the story, evil eye, the awareness that if someone is aware of your success, and they wish you bad to affect you, remember, there is no truth in reality other than what your subconscious mind has accepted as truth. This is what gives the concept of evil eye power over you. You already believe that these people wish me bad. They are very powerful. In fact, it's a witch. It's a wizard. And you believe. You see, you believe that? Remember, belief is connected to your emotion. And your emotion is an energetic vibration, which, if persisted, compound to a frequency. And the frequency determines your reality. That person refused to tell anybody because of the belief that this will happen to him. And it's correct. Because if you believe it, you are right. It's possible. But does not mean if you don't believe it, it will not happen to you. Evil eye. Remember that there's no truth in your reality other than what your subconscious mind has accepted as true. This is what gives the concept of evil eye power over you. This is why people don't share their plans. So, the inherent belief in the evil eye is the only thing that has given it power over you, because there is no truth in reality other than what your subconscious mind has said as true. So if you believe it will affect you, then it's better you don't share it. The idea tonight is this, ladies and gentlemen. Be conscious of the energies and vibration around you. It is extremely important for you to be conscious of the frequency and vibration around you. Why? The reason is because either you know it or not, it's affecting you. It's affecting you. It's good. You should not share your plan until it materializes and people see it. And the reason should not be because of evil eye. No. It's good not to share your plan, but not because you're afraid, but because you don't want people with bad frequency to affect you. That's why. Not because you're afraid that someone will affect you. No. The vision you want to materialize is within you. And how do you expect someone outside of you to understand it? That vision is within you. How do you expect someone outside to understand it? That is why you need to shut up. The opinion and perception of others, when they are expressed to you, carry a frequency. And the question is, do you want this frequency to be projected to your desired reality? The seed of your desired reality is to plant. Is to be planted inside of you. This is no one else's job but yours. So don't subscribe to the concept of evil eye. As long as you don't subscribe to it, then it will not have power over you. So what belief do you subscribe to? Because that is what eventually determines the constant that you will be seeing in your reality. The simple conclusion is that the seed is no one else to plant except you. The manifestation of your desired reality and the vision you have is only for your mind. In fact, the reason you are where you are today is because of what I've just talked about. You remember you grew up in an environment. That environment affects significantly your experience about life. That experience about life affects your knowledge of how life works. Your knowledge of how life works affects your belief system. Your belief system affects the things you value. The things you value affect the choices you make. And the choices you make affect your action. So, your environment is created by your family, people you stay around them, family, by the school you attended, by the media you are exposed to, by the religious organization you belong to. All that influence your environment. If that environment is not a good one for you, where it's not an environment where you can dream, you can want to do something, and then nobody will say, "Ah, no, it's not possible." Rather, they will encourage you to try it out. They encourage you to try it out. Why? But if you're in an environment where they are the wrong frequency, contrary to you, they are going to see what you are saying as stupid or foolish, impracticable, and give you 1001 reason why this is not something you should even consider in the first place. This is so important. Unfortunately, we are not conscious of this in our day-to-day activities. So from today, you need to become conscious of this. Don't share your vision, your plans with people who are not at your frequency. So that means you have to audit before you commit. You're planning something big, or you're trying to get an opportunity somewhere, or you're trying to do something, and someone is saying, Sherry, no one Benny. Is it the kind of you people like you they are looking for there? You better don't buy more than you can chew. Dreaming is free. Dreaming is free. Dreaming is free. You're not paying for it. Dreaming is free. You're not paying for it. This is serious. Very serious. I need you to really think through today about the kind of people around you, the things you are trying to do, the things you are trying to do, and those that have opposed you, that you have been trying to convince. It is a wrong thing to do, trying to convince them. Please stop convincing them. Remember, you are in two different classes. So trying to convince them to see things you are seeing, it's like trying to get them to see what is inside of you. The simple conclusion is that the seed is no one else to plant except you. The manifestation of your desired reality and the vision you have is only for your mind. Also, the power that you have, 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 also, the power that the power that you have given to people will be the power they hold in your reality. The power you have given to people will be the power they hold in your reality. This happened through the fact that you believe that your success can be influenced by an evil eye. So you need to get into that zone where you know that no one else can influence your frequency or vibration through their words or action against you. So remember, the reason you are not telling people is not because you are afraid they will do something against you that will affect your desired reality. No. The reason you are not saying it is because you don't want to hear them discourage you. You don't want them. Remember, you are growing up. The environment influence your frequency. So a number of things. That's why having this kind of conversation is critical for you, because they've given back to you. You have to rebut yourself. You have to. Some of the things you believe, why do you believe it? Money don't grow on trees. You heard that growing up. It's so difficult to make money. There's no job in Nigeria. There are no opportunity in this country. Many graduates don't get a job. It's so difficult to get married or to get husband or wife. I think you heard those things. You believe them. You are holding them as true. And guess what? It's affecting you so terribly. It's affecting you so badly. And you've got to do something about it. Else, if you listen to it long enough, meditate on it long enough, hear it long enough, think about it long enough, it's going to get into your subconscious mind. You are going to hold it as true, such that it's now connected to your emotion, which is an energetic vibration, which compound to a frequency. And remember, what you see in your life today is vibrational alignment with what already exists. Remember, all things already exist. He said he has given unto us all things that pertain to life and godliness. Everything already exists. The one you experience in the reality and possibility in the God system of our universe, the one you experience is based on the frequency of vibration you are in. So when you pray, when you worship, when you sing, when you are fasting, when you are most of the religious activity is to connect, is to make it to be at a frequency that connects you to that reality. That is why many people pray, they don't get any answer, because even though they speak with their mouth, mentally they are declaring something else. They think they will be heard by their many words. What they don't know is that their frequencies speak louder than their words. Your frequencies speak louder than your words. Remember what constitutes your frequency? Your belief, your emotional conviction, your thought, your perception of yourself, your identity, the way you see yourself. Your attention and focus. Your attention and focus. Even your expectation. All these determine your frequency of vibration. So I believe you have learned something important today, that you should not allow yourself to be carried away by people around you and what they say or did before you commit, and ensure they do not influence you negatively. Thank you very much for joining again today. Let me hear from you. What have you learned tonight? Good evening, everyone. Eunice, you're number one on my list. How are you? Hello, are you there?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you?
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I'm very well, thank you, sir. I don't know why I'm always on. I'm always first on the list.
You're on the list because maybe you should put
Okay,
Julius
sir.
before Eunice because he is only when I have A, B.
Okay, so today's class was or is because I will still have to go back to listen to the
I'm going to
SoundCloud
listen to it too because
and
of those your office people.
seriously. It's something that is very thought provoking and it's a lot of work and it just reminds me of the fact that life itself is intentional.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
shouldn't just live
yeah.
life like okay, you just wake up every day, you go to work, whatever goes, whatever comes, and garbage in, garbage out. No, if we really want to manifest the fullness of potentials that God has put in us, we really need to be intentional without any bias to um something looking like a rejection or people looking at us as weird because I can attest to it firsthand that when you begin to apply these principles of keeping visions that God is placing on your heart mostly to yourself or people that you know that can help you interpret and carry this vision, it looks like you are isolating yourself in some way and you are not met with smiles and friendliness. So it's just another wake up call that not everybody is going to be your friend or a partner, irrespective of the space you find yourself with them. So another thing that stood out for me that I would keep ringing in my head is you don't expect someone to operate out of their mental box. I think I found myself sometimes in that disbelief when some people do some things. I'm like, okay, why will you do like this? Why will you think like this? So recently, I've also learned that the environment they grew up is different from mine. The exposure they have is different from mine. So I shouldn't even expect in the least that they would think like me or that they will understand certain truths about life the way I would understand it. So I'm really grateful for these pointers and I pray that God will really give us the grace, the strength, because we really need more of the alarm of God, the Holy Spirit, always reminding us because it's very easy to slip out of consciousness. It's very,
Yeah,
very easy because
yeah,
there are a lot of
yeah,
distractions
yeah.
in our world today, a lot of distractions. So I really trust that God would help us, that He will give us strength in our inner man, that we'll be able to bear these fruits, and that the name of God will be glorified by our lives. So, sir, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Uh, how do you manage this kind of shutting your mouth amongst people that you don't choose them, like family, like your marketplace?
Shutting your mouth about your plan.
Yes, how
Ah,
do you
did they put hand in your mouth? Why can't you shut your mouth?
sometimes they will say, oh, you're just giving like you're you're just removing yourself from the setting or from the family. You like doing your own things separate and excuse me, how do you manage
No,
such
if you know they are not at the frequency that you want, such that they can be discouraging, you have to keep quiet too. You say, how do you manage it? When they see your success, they'll be happy for you now. And I say, you didn't tell us, sorry, Jare. Don't be annoying. Just apologize now. When you know that if you tell them, they won't see what you are saying, they're going to discourage you. Just apologize if they are angry that you didn't tell them when you were planning whatever it is you are trying to do. But you know your people, so you know that look, there's some people you don't want to talk to about your plan because they can't see what you're saying. So it doesn't matter whether they're family member, you live with them, they won't put hand in your mouth now. So you can still keep quiet if you want to keep quiet. because you know the implication of not keeping quiet and the impact of what they will say, because the fact they can be a major discouraging factor self that you find yourself not doing what you really want to do. So I think you can. I think you can, but you just learn to apologize afterwards.
Okay. Okay. I have another question,
Okay.
but the question is
21
more
hours.
centered around. The
Around,
question is centered around another question, sir.
yes, second question is centered around what?
Okay, the question is centered around having to deal with people that are not on your own frequency. Still almost the same thing, but you have to like deal with them almost every now and then, like in a job space, in even in family spaces and settings. How can you
So
um,
if you
guide
are
your own
seeing, yeah, if you are seeing that, look, this is what we need to do now, and they are not seeing it, if you have what it takes to still go ahead in spite of them not seeing it, you go ahead. If you don't have that power because they are your senior colleague, let them make the mistake. When they see the result, maybe they will begin to say, okay, we've tried our way, let's try your way since it didn't work. If your own way work, maybe they will begin to give you attention. Say, okay, it's like you see things differently the way we see it. If you are in charge, you can go ahead without them because you are in charge. But if you are not in charge, you can't go ahead without them. Let them go ahead and do it. If it's not working, they're not getting the result. If they are humble enough, they'll come back to you and then probably begin to take you seriously when you make suggestions. But you can't fight them.
Okay. So I thought my last question,
Go
final
ahead.
question is especially in religious settings where religious leaders hold some kind of authority over the church, especially in Nigerian settings, how can you stand for what you believe that God is asking or laying on your heart without carrying a guilt of disobedience? Because
The reason you carry
um
a guilt of disobedience is because you don't believe that God is laying that on your heart. If God laid on your heart,
yeah,
you will be guilty that you are not listening to. He said, I would rather obey God rather than man. That's what the scripture says now. If you believe this is what
mm,
God is leading you to do and someone feels otherwise, why are you feeling guilty that you're not listening to? Are you not supposed to obey God rather than man? It's because of religion that make you to think that even though this is what I believe God leading me to do, but because I'm disobeying an authority in my life, then I feel
exactly.
guilty. But I'm supposed to obey God rather than
Yeah,
man, so I shouldn't feel guilty. So you need to reorientate yourself and say, no, I'm doing the right thing. Now, why should I feel guilty for doing the right thing? Because I believe this is what God wants me to do.
to do. Hmm. Thank you very much, sir.
All
Thank
right.
you so
Thank
much.
you. FOM, good evening.
Evening, sir. Thank you
Good
so much,
evening.
sir. Hello, sir. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir. Good evening, sir. Yeah, there's lots to really grab for what you have said so far tonight. You say you don't deal with people, you deal with their frequency.
Yeah.
So I remember my mom was telling me something then. I remember she used to say it almost like frequently. Don't relate your dream to people. Even as I said, like, I should just leave it. That if I am done with it, I cannot let people know. So she was the way she was understanding it. I was like, is it that everybody is evil? She's even telling me I also I should not tell her. So I think I started understanding it better when you said frequency. Maybe she might not be able to flow in my own frequency. That so I now really understand it better tonight. That okay, to avoid being discouraged or avoid people looking at it that this thing is not really possible. So why are you trying it? So I think I really understand that better now when I listen to this.
Thank you. Thank you. Grant. Grant.
Good evening,
So
sir.
I
Good
understand that
evening.
better now that
Oh,
okay.
I'm coming.
Okay.
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 Okay, Steve,
All right.
go ahead, please.
You said I should go ahead.
Okay, no, I thought FOM was he talking. Go ahead, Grant.
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
network that lost out.
Okay, you are not true. Sorry, I didn't hear you. I thought you were finished talking. I didn't know it was network. Go ahead, FOM. Grant, hold on.
Okay, sir. Yeah, I said I now understand my mom better tonight. That
Yeah.
you need to be quiet. Yeah. Now I understand that better. That because of the frequency of other people's that
Yeah.
they carry.
And how they affect you.
So I also grab that in this life, maybe in this Nigeria, the frequency you are operating, that's it affect you to put in a class.
Yes, exactly.
So
Exactly. Exactly.
So, and also going to all this program, attending all these conferences, seminar. I think is frequency we are going to go and catch there.
But
I
that's
said,
actually what
you hear
happened
somebody.
because what they do there at every event, you listen, and that what you are listening to is affecting number one, is affecting your belief. Number two is affecting the way you see yourself, your identity. Number three is affecting what you are focusing on. It's affecting your thought. All that affect your frequency. That's actually why what you are listening to is so important. So important. Thank you.
So, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Let me just give it to another person. But I got that message when you said when you are reading a book, you are not reading the book.
You are
You are
reading your
reading
frequency. That's
your
why
own
two people
frequency.
can read the same book and see different things inside. And that's exactly what happened to the Bible. Different people read. Now, look at where I read this evening. Look at where I read this evening. First, I don't know if any of you have seen it in that live before. And I read deliberately 1 John chapter 5, verse 18. We know that whosoever is born of God sinneth not, but he that is begotten of God keepeth himself, and the wicked one toucheth him not. Why is the wicked one not touching him? It's because God has set up a system in place such that when you keep yourself, if you keep yourself, you will be in Christ. If you are in Christ, you'll be full of love, full of joy, you're full of peace. You won't be living in fear. And by being in Christ, you put yourself at such a high level of vibration that the wicked one at a low level of vibration cannot touch you. Now, that's the way I'm seeing it in my Bible. Did
Thank
you
you,
get
sir.
that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you,
You
sir.
read. You read based on your level of vibration. Go ahead.
It's all right, sir. Maybe
All right.
somebody else.
All
Thank you
right.
so much, sir.
Grant.
Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, thank you for tonight's session. First thing you said, I was I was listening partially, like I was listening, but I was doing something. Then when you got to that part where you said you don't hear people or you don't relate with people, you relate with frequencies. My ear
Yes.
just happened. Like my ear mood. I'm like, yeah, that's true. People are frequencies. So it now even gives a lot of perspective, especially when you're doing the class analogy where you said, how does somebody in primary 5 or JSS 2 want to explain his mathematics or studies to somebody in basic 2?
Yeah.
He's not going, he can never get it, he can't relate. He'll be arguing and debating with you. And the mistake we now make is because, like, we don't now even realize that somebody of 60 years old, in terms of frequency, can be in nursery 2, while somebody that is still 25, frequency wise, can be in SS4,
Yeah.
SS3. So when we now hear somebody who because they have chronological age, they have spent time on earth. Normally they should be wise, but really they've just gathered a whole bunch of information that has dropped them on the frequency scale. So they have a lot of informations, but the things they've accepted as true or as truth are actually false beliefs. And so we just it's like his authority fallacy. So I really enjoy that part. And then really I tell a lot of my friends some things, and they'll be like, no, no, no. But I don't know. I think I'm daring. So when I say I will do something and somebody tells me I'm not going to do it, I'm going to ask them to watch because I'm going to do it. There was a period when it used to affect me when I remember sharing, like it's more than once I shared something with somebody and I shared a plan with them, the plan was going to fall out. Like it wasn't going to happen. I observed it was really just going like that. I'm not telling somebody what I discovered for an exam, went to write the exam and failed the exam. And I'm like, what happened? Like, and now, first off, my first conclusion was, oh, when I'm in the same area with somebody where I think somebody is a competition to me, if I share something with them, my mind interpreted it or used to interpret it that I had taken from myself and given to them, so I was less. It was a mental interpretation. And when I found out that, when I saw that, so when I share the same thing with maybe my brother who we are not working towards the same thing, I don't feel anything. If I share it with somebody who we are working on the same thing together, like counterparts or competition, I feel a drain. And I now discovered that there was a belief. So I began to practice sharing something, feel that energy, and go and do it. It was costing me more energy to go and do it after sharing it. But then I mastered how to deal with doubt and disbeliefs. And I'm very grateful for last year. All my time during service in Osun State, I was reading a lot, learning, and we also started this session last year. So I really had that whole time and space. I mean, I lived alone mostly. So it's then I landed this year. I was supposed to start my own business, start my work, and then I was supposed to go and I was telling my parents, my mom was like, no, don't do this thing, don't do this thing. My dad spoke to me one long evening. I almost doubted myself, but I'd already concluded from last year that to do the things I need to do, I don't need anybody's belief. If you and these are I interpret it that, and I think I also got that from you, where it doesn't matter, like if somebody tells me something, as long as I don't believe it, I mean, I really got it for me, it won't affect me. Why? Because be it unto you according to your faith.
Yeah.
So if you believe, like somebody comes to tell me that I think you're a fool, I'm like, that's your problem. I don't think so. So how does that affect me? It just sounds that way. So as long as I don't take their belief about me to believe the same thing about myself, then it doesn't affect me. And as you started teaching this night, there was a part when you were saying, don't share, don't share. I was getting disturbed that, but really, I've traveled high in the frequency. So on certain frequency basis, I can share something with somebody. I'll go and do it because when I was sharing it with them, one thing I now know I do is, depending on who I'm talking to, I'm sharing it to them not to get their support. When it comes to getting support, it's now a different ball game because you can only now share with people that believe what you want to do. If they don't, they will say many rubbish, too many nonsense. So thank you very much, sir, for that. Then I think I now have I want to further the question. So I have a question. When it comes to hiding or protecting something, as I would like to call it, protecting something while you are building it and working on it, how does this circle around to visibility such that it is not enough to be skilled at what you do? You also have to talk about how skilled you are. Like,
No,
you get
you
what?
are going to talk about still you have to your potential customer now. You are not going to talk to people who you are sharing with
Oh,
what you are doing now. You are talking to a customer who need your service. So if you are projecting yourself not to someone who doesn't even know what you are doing and want to discourage you, you are projecting yourself to people who need your service. So you project yourself,
oh,
of course. That these are two different people. There are so many things I do that people around me don't even know I do. Why? Because they are not the one I'm doing it for. The people I'm doing it for,
oh,
they know themselves. We know where we meet. Do you understand? So I don't need to
yeah.
share with them because they can't really. There's a lot of things I can't even. It's difficult for. How do you even explain?
They can never relate.
Yeah, exactly. How do you even explain? So there's no point. There's no point sharing with them. So I would rather. But of course, maybe if they follow me online, they probably see some of those things eventually. But by the time they are seeing it, it's something I probably have done already. So not something I'm thinking of.
So, but do you now, the other question is, do you intentionally hide it from them? Like, do you care
Okay,
that
I've
they know?
lived my life in such a way that I don't share things. I don't. I don't share things with people who don't need to hear about it. That's the way I live. If I'm doing something, I don't share things with people who have no business hearing about it. So it's not like so subconsciously that's the way I live. I think if you're not going to add value to, why am I talking to you about it? Why am I talking to you about it? So, for example, now I just released a book, and I'm talking to some people that the strategic marketing I'm doing in organization that I know will be interested in it. I won't be talking to someone. Why would it even occur to me to even share? Why? Because it's not it's not in the I don't know if so at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is that subconsciously I hide it. Subconscious, not because I want to hide it, but it's just that I've already know the people I want to talk to if I have something I want to do. I saying they are people that are important that I need to know. Those are not important. Why am I talking to them about it? So subconsciously it just happened. Not because I want to deliberately, but I've just developed a system that ensures that I only talk to people that I need to hear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you do the same
what?
thing with your WhatsApp? Do you do the same thing with your WhatsApp status?
In my WhatsApp
Or
status.
yes,
No, WhatsApp status is what I want to sell, I put there now.
and you
Anytime.
don't care who the viewers are.
The people I save on my phone, 90% of them are people that do business with me or people that are
Oh,
interested. 90. I have over. Hold on, let me check. I have over. I'm trying to check my contact. I have over about 8,194 numbers. I've been using this line since 2000 no, since NYSC actually. It's NYSC because I was using Airtel, but during NYSC it's only MTN that was there. So that's I served in 2004. So this is that's over 20 years. So I mean 8,000 yes now.
yes, actually.
So now apart from maybe people who I knew many years ago. I'm talking about the numbers. The majority of the numbers are number I saved in the last 15 years. And majority of those people, 90% of them are people are either prospect clients, they are not. So they are the one that will likely see it. So hold on. I'm trying to check my WhatsApp status now and check those that will see. Okay, it's even gone. I'm trying to check based on what you said to look at those that will see it. But generally, that's what has happened. But I don't even check who's. In fact, I've been accused sometimes. My wife even accused me of this. If you say something, if I say about something, say you didn't see my WhatsApp status. I said no. But you posted. I said I don't. I don't check. I post what I put to see, but I don't check it. I really. It's very, very rare. I'm telling you. So now, if for any reason someone see it, the person cannot. Okay, I think it's the way I've lived my life. It's not likely the person will come and be discouraging me about it. As in, if it's something I'm trying to do, I'm not. It has not happened that someone. Okay, I really have not given that a chance to anybody. I don't know if you understand what I mean. How do I describe it now? I've not given that chance for you to, because I won't do something stupid also. But if you see what I'm trying to do, if you know the kind of person I am, you should know why I'm doing that kind of thing. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So it's not likely, unless I'm doing something stupid and say, sorry, what are you doing? I'm surprised. Why would you be doing that kind of thing? Not that is discouraging me from doing something I believe this is the direction I want to go. I don't know if I'm making sense to you.
Yeah, so your circle over the years has been like your frequency has now chosen your circle.
No, yes. No, seriously. I am deliberate about eliminating foolishness around me. No, very deliberate. Very, very deliberate around. I'm very deliberate around that. I think if I know this kind of person, this way person think, I just tactically avoid that kind of person. Tactically. If he calls, if I might not take the call. The person will be angry, but he can be angry now. I've learned. Fruit of the spirit does not involve being nice. No. Being nice.
What do you mean?
Being nice
What
is
do
not
you
a fruit
mean?
of the spirit.
That
Love,
one's
joy, peace, gentleness, goodness, faith. Being nice is not there. So I don't have to be nice.
Okay, what does it look like to not be nice? Like, sir, give me
You call me, I choose not to pick your call because I know what you like, what you want to say. I won't like it, so I won't pick your call. If I want to be nice,
nice.
I'll pick your call. Or you come to my office without telling me you are coming, and then you want me to see you, and I told you I'm busy and you're angry. I won't see you because if I'm not in the office, you won't be angry. So you should let me know you are coming. Even if you are coming from outside, in fact, there was a time this happened. Someone said it came from Benin. I said, that's the reason I will not see you. The fact that you are coming from Benin without telling me you are coming, it shows you don't have respect for your time. Then you don't have respect for my time. I will not see you. How can you say you are coming from Benin and you're not coming before coming to Lagos? I know you didn't come to see me. You came to Lagos for something that you just want to use the opportunity to see me. So you came to my office. But I'm busy now.
Yeah, yes,
I'm
that's
busy.
true.
I'm busy. What if so you came in, I'm not around? Will you be angry? Now you're angry because I'm around. But I could have been outside now. I could have gone out. So you can't be angry if you didn't tell me you are coming. Because if I'm going to see someone, I will call him. If I'm going to go to see that person unannounced, I will not be angry if the person says he's not available or he's busy.
Yeah.
Because I didn't tell him I'm coming. How do I know what he's doing in his office? So why will he be angry? So being nice is seeing you because you are around. If you are not valuable to me, I will not see you.
Wow. Okay. Well, then why not? I'm raising up. Me, I think I've come to the part. I'm now beginning to realize that, like, I saw a statement by Dr. Miles. He said, "You don't protect your time, people would waste your life for you."
Thank you. You get the point. You get the point. Someone say, I want to come and see you. I say, why do you want to come in Lagos travel? Let's do Zoom. Because I know if we do Zoom, immediately we finish, we will end, we'll stop it. But if he come, we will first of all see, shake, all those felicitations, asking all sort of kenwa story for like 30 minutes before the real conversation. But if it's online, I will click, hello, how are you? Okay, and you said this. I might not even show my face. I might even be walking as I'm talking. Yes, now I can be walking. Look, as I'm talking to you now, I've gone out. I've gone to somewhere else in the house. I've come back. I've gone to take something I wanted to eat, put it in my hand. I'm talking. I can do so many things at the same time. Why would you want to come physically? Then I must come downstairs to come and meet you in the office. Then why can't you? Do you understand? So I want to do virtual. It saves me a lot of time. So that if you must come, that means you have concern about us and you want to just confirm before you pay. That one, I'm okay. Come. So you can pay before you go. I don't have any issue with that one. But you just want to come. When are you coming for to come back?
I'll come and greet you.
No, you can come and greet, but we need to agree on the time. I don't have any issue with you coming to greet, but we must agree. So that means I will have factor you into my plan. Not that you show up without announce. It doesn't make sense. So you don't have value for your time. My time is precious. It's so I know how much I charge for me to speak for 1 hour. You cannot come and waste that 1 hour. You can't. You can't. I won't allow you. Because the time is important. Any other question?
No, sir. I want to add one more point.
Go ahead.
Like, that learning is upgrading frequency. Learning allows.
Yes. Because learning affects your belief, and belief influences your frequency.
Yes. Like, I think that's even one of my greatest joy, that I can wash off dirty consciousness.
Yes. But you need to be conscious of dirty consciousness first. You be conscious of those bad. There's a way some people, when you hear some people talk, really, it shows a lot. And that's why you should not argue with some people. Because someone must be foolish for wisdom to have value. Everybody cannot be wise. So don't try to want to make people wise. Someone must be foolish for wisdom to have value. So it doesn't have to be you. It doesn't have to be you. So that's why you can't argue with people, because we are at different levels.
That's true. Thank you very much, sir. So
All
sometimes
right.
from people's voice tone, their tone of voice, I already know this person is a fool.
You already know this person is the what?
The fool.
Yeah,
And the
no,
person,
no, sincerely.
yes,
And being foolish is not an insult, it's a state of existence.
yes, the state, yes.
It's a state of no, it's not an insult. It's not an insult. That's why
Yeah.
Paul will say, "Oh, foolish Galatians," because they were behaving in a way that conformed to foolishness. He will confess
Yeah.
positive and say they are wise. Even Jesus called people fool. Why? Because they were behaving in a way that conformed to foolishness.
That's true.
So it's a behavior that conforms to a definition.
Yeah. That's true. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Um. iPhone. Favor. Good evening.
For the session, sir. I think today's session on actually shutting our mouths is like an eye opener for me.
Okay.
Especially where you talked about understanding how their frequency can rub off on our frequency. And when you were giving an illustration around getting into a place and then just noticing that if, for instance, the person is sad or depressed or something, it could actually rub off on our own energy. And I think that for me is actually quite deep, because what it means is the kind of people around us, to a very large extent, will determine how far we can realize our desired realities.
Yes, very correct.
It means that having the right kind of people, having the right kind, little wonder when we have the right kind of people who are positive thinking, who actually are, have aspirations, we just find ourselves actually walking in that direction, other than probably sharing, just like what you had mentioned, sharing with somebody who hasn't seen the picture at all. The first thing that comes out of that person is actually, this is not possible. Instance, I was having a conversation with somebody and I had mentioned something to her, and she was a superior, and so within me, my thoughts, I actually felt she would have thought way higher, and she just went way lower. And I'm like, I was shocked, but again, within me, I was like, how come she's in this kind of position and she's not even thinking that she can actually do A, B, and C? Looking at that, she's a superior. And myself, I'm even thinking, oh, maybe this height is not enough based on what we were in conversations we were having. So I think the conversation today has also helped me to see that sometimes, even personally, I try to drive home. I'm like trying to drive something into someone to get to that point. But I now know better that just like you said, if the person is in a particular frequency and the person is in a lower frequency, like in a primary school, I cannot be saying, there's no amount of things, there's nothing I'm going to say to that person that is going to make the person get to that point. The person would need to change his or her own frequency. It's not a matter of me wanting to go down that way to try to drill it in, and it won't even get in. Because one thing I've noticed is, like, it seems that what happens with those frequencies is like, just like what you had mentioned, there's like a block already.
Yes.
The block is not allowing
the person is inside a box.
Yes, exactly, sir. The person is in a box, so there's no box. You get that person out to get to that point, unless the person actually comes out of that box and will be able to see. Sometimes some of them realize it maybe over time, maybe several maybe trainings or lessons, or they've gone through certain, or they go to an event and then they hear something and probably they come back and then say, oh, that day when we were talking about, I think what you were saying was actually correct. And the person comes up to that level to have that understanding. I would say thank you very much, sir. It's really a lot. And just like you mentioned, I'd actually need to go back and listen again and again. These lessons would actually help to ease off a lot of stress, to ease off a lot of
Yes. So you don't have to waste your energy on people that will just stress you unnecessarily.
and also build a better relationship, because I can
Yes.
imagine if I'm not saying something, somebody doesn't understand what I'm trying to pass on, and I don't push further, the person just becomes okay with it, and we're good.
Yeah.
Unlike need to drill it down and then the person then gets offended. Maybe he's trying to say what I'm saying is more superior. But I have a question.
Go ahead.
In cases, so what I was thinking about while you were asking, when you were speaking, was if you ask me, maybe my younger self years back, what would you rather have done? I would say I would rather have been an entrepreneur and not work for anybody, um, based on certain understanding I have now.
Okay.
Reason being, which takes me to my question. A case where it's a superior, what can you do? Because in most cases, when it's your superior, you're going to have them hand down things, especially when you're working. Maybe you're working in an organization, they're going to hand down things. And this is on my own, based on all these learnings I've listened to. What I understand is that these can form a limitation, or can form I don't know how to put it, how best to put it, but can impact your being able to drive whatever it is you want to accomplish based on what is happening. Oh God.
I'm trying to
Sorry.
understand your question.
Okay, so my question is, in a situation where you are in a place and that
Yes.
energy is coming superior, and that kind of energy is coming from a superior, you can't block out your,
What kind of energy?
like, okay, let me give an instance. You
Good.
want to put something across, you want to discuss something, and your superior is not at that level to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
How do you handle, because
And
you
I
can't
already mentioned it to Eunice that if you feel this is what should be done and the person cannot get it, if you are superior, you go ahead without him. If you are not superior, you can go ahead, let her do it the way she wants it. If she did not get the result, maybe if she's wise, he will come back to you and say, okay, maybe we should try your own since this is not working. Because you really cannot go ahead since you are not the one in charge.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
So it brings me to that point that if you have to actually work for someone, then there's a possibility there will be a limitation. Imagine I don't go ahead, she goes ahead with it. We continue to fail in projects, or we continue to
Very
perform.
correct. Very correct. It will hinder you. Maybe if you now bring it up against this thing is not working, can we consider this? If the person is wise and humble, he will. If he's not, he will still stay there. And that's true. It might now affect the team from making progress, which is very correct. Very, very correct. In a big corporate organization, what I will do is to diplomatically tell his own superior to see how he can help prevail without the person letting him know that I'm the one. But the person can bring the suggestion, not mentioning me. That's what I would do diplomatically to make the unit make progress. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
sometimes, especially when it's a superior, it's always a sensitive case, because you can share with that other superior. Now imagine that the other superior, the person superior, is not thinking in that situation.
Exactly.
And they are in the same frequency with.
Yes. So this is Eunice. I can attest to what Favor is saying. Yes.
And this is very possible. It can be frustrating,
Sometimes they would even blame you for the failure. I've had an appraisal issue on this kind of matter
Are you
about the
serious?
appraisal issue, and they appraised the supervisor better than myself. Even the supervisor was saying, but it's you that is even good at this thing than me.
Anyway, those are the challenges you face at work. You have to find a way to deal with it.
Thank
All
you very,
right. All
thank you
right.
very much,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
I also wanted to add, happy Father's Day to you
Thank
and
you.
to all the
Thank you.
women.
Thank you.
Father's Day,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you. Then, Favor, the links that you sent to me of that program, I don't have it. I really would like to listen to that lady again. The lady that spoke first at that program. So if you still have the link, please let me send it to me.
Okay, I'll touch base with them. I noticed they didn't share the link with us. I would have.
Uh-uh.
I'll touch somebody
I
in the
thought they would even
team.
share with customer self.
Yeah, I'll touch base with somebody in the team. They didn't share it with us. I didn't
Okay.
get it.
All right. Okay. Temitope. Temitope, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes. Good evening.
And good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for this priceless distribution of knowledge. And I want to appreciate everyone that's contributed so far. It's
Thank
more like a
you.
recap for me, right? And laying emphasis. Yeah, God bless you, sir, and God bless everyone. Okay. I will not want to retreat everything that has been spoken of, right? But I'll just pick some other things, like, right, alongside what my colleague have shared or my friends over here. Yeah, you made mention of something. You said if you don't see it, you will never seize it.
Yes.
So our belief plays a vital role in what we get to apprehend or lose on the long run. So
Yeah.
I think this still links back to what we studied the last time, talking about attention, right? Yes, what we give our attention to as a way of coming to us, right? And when we pay more attention to something, we get to absorb its energy or frequency, be it negative or positive. So wisdom demands that we should mind what we give our attention to. And I think it's also play a role in belief, because I don't believe something, I don't think I should give it attention, isn't it? So believing something goes along with paying attention to something. So that stood out for me, right? Please, can we still hear me?
Hello?
Can we hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
All right, sir. Then the next one, something else. The power the power you have given to people is the control they have over you.
Over you. Yeah. 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 The
Yes,
one that
so
give them
this
the
one is
power.
really strong and keen, because and I want to emphasize something. We know information is power,
Mhm.
right? When we trade out our information too early before it should, because I think, was it Grant or I don't know who was speaking, talking about asking a question about how do I get to when something is not really ripe. I don't want someone to steal my idea, but somebody is need to market it. And I love the way you answered the question. So information is power, right? So the information, the power we give to people is the level of control they have over us. Yeah, so this part comes in a very it goes a long way for me. Yes, because I've been victim of trying to live a more sincere life, right? Just want to be sincere with everyone, sincere with people, and many times I fall victim of people using my information as a kind of control over me. And funny enough, these things are not probably like something negative or someone blackmailing. No, I'm talking about key valuable information, probably talking about my next step. And when people tend to like, okay, you entrusted your moves, your next move, your information, a future power to someone or to some set of people you believe to have your best interest at heart. And on the long run, right, instead of helping you to build, it looks like they are either trying to look for a way to build what you intend to build, to take the glory, take the win, and push you out of the plan, or they are trying to look for a way such that they probably have the capacity, they have the link, they have the resources that could have helped me bet that information, that power of mine I shared with them. And now, because they feel threatened that, wow, if we help this guy might actually go beyond us. So let's hold back our resource. Let's take away every ladder that could have helped him level up. and I've suffered that. Why? Because I traded my information too early. I gave out my power so they were able to control what I was supposed to get.
Yeah.
So we should be mindful of this because I've suffered this so many times. I learned this lesson the hard way. I learned it the hard way. I know growing up in primary school, we were being told information is power, knowledge is power. It was more like a literal term, right? Yeah, but I can tell you vividly that my life has been a platform where this has been experimented, sadly. So I must say that. Yeah, so as I'm speaking about myself, I believe everyone can hear me. Please, your information is power. So that power there, when you were speaking, I was just listening to the words, and my past was just flashing like right before me, right? So I have seen I've been manipulated, how my opportunities have been manipulated, how because I could not keep my mouth shut. Now, this will now lead me to the next thing I want to say, right? Excitement does discernment, and I want us to take that for it. You know, when we are actually excited about new ideas, there's always this frequency we have. Let me dish it out to everyone that needs to hear. I think everyone needs to know this. I think everyone, that was the case of Herod, right? You know, he was so excited about a dance and he just made a frivolous promise, not minding, right? Ask anything, even to the half of my kingdom, I'll give it to you. And the next thing, he saw that he had shot himself on the leg. Like that was a setup already. And only for the lady to come, ask for the head of a prophet, John the Baptist, right? And it was like he had to protect his integrity. But that was the beginning of his fall and closing to the end of his reign, right? So excitement does discernment. When new ideas is being vetted, let's say I have suffered this a lot. When you stumble on something very gainful, meaningful, like a very bright light, and you feel, wow, I just need to say this. I just need people to motivate me. Someone just need to know that I've captured the light. And after dishing out all of this, that excitement, I got to distribute to even those that were never supposed to know it. Right. So let's be mindful. Excitement does discernment, and that's when people get to talk, overly talk. And let me bring it to this other part. None of us, we are all young people, but let me just make reference to it. If you notice, I saw a post of someone that said, when that moment when you take a friend of yours, when a friend of yours returns, comes to a public place, and then he tells you he's drunk and he knows all your secrets, what's the next move? Like there was the way the story was painted in the comic, and those words were written. I'm like, wow. So someone who knows somebody's secret, like everything about him, gets drunk in a public space, automatically will spill everything he will literally say are purely true and nothing. He will not say anything out of. He will only say things he ought not to say, like key primary information given to him. So that's the level of excitement because he has been weary in his body, right? So please, let's be mindful. Excitement does discernment. So we should be whenever we are happy, we should mind what was, I think, was it Grant or someone here that said something, made mention about sir, how about your status, the words you say. Now I want to make reference to this. Whatsoever we hear makes us, but whatever you say is who you are. Just like we're in this seminar now, like everything I'm hearing now is changing, is bringing a kind of orientation
Yeah.
to me, right? And
Yeah.
it's informing me, it's making me, it's a
Yeah.
making process. I'm on learning in this process, I'm learning and I'm also relearning.
Mhm.
And then whatever I will now say after now is who I am based on what I have received. Now, so I think I want to make reference to this person. Be it your status, your post online, every word that escape your thought line, be it in words like writing just graphics or you saying it verbally, you are telling people who exactly you are. If I don't drink beer, for example, and I always post about beer, the world will believe I drink beer. There's no way I
Because
don't
that's what you are promoting.
exactly, because that's what I market. I advertise it. So it looks like, wow, if I partner with this, I'm a fully like I must have tested it for me to be bold enough to market it, right? Yes. So we should be mindful. And also, I think if we want to attract, because someone was like, how do I get people with the right energy? But realistically, we will all always have people with different frequency. Both those with a low frequency who are still in a box smaller than your own, who cannot even think to the level of your box, and those above your box will always have the mixture. Jesus Christ, for example, let me make reference. There was a point in his ministry, he said, I have so many things to say to you, but you cannot bear them. It was referring to their frequency. That's the frequency you guys are now. The things I would have loved to advertise to you, you don't have that. You are not even up to that level to consume them, right? And also a point in his ministry, there were three, Peter, James, and John, who were always close to him, who also witnessed the transfiguration on the mount, and he was able to communicate. They saw a light. He told them not to tell the other. Why did he not go with the 12? He knew these ones, their frequency to a level. This kind of differs from the other, right? Other 9 disciples. So we will always have people with different frequencies around us. Now, this is the wisdom. I had to also learn this based on my past experience. This is the wisdom now. When from the trivia we've discussed with a lot of persons, we have friends around our life, both friends, families, people in church, and all of that. When we have certain peculiar issue, sincerely, if we'll be genuine with ourselves, our heart will always point us to someone who has the solution, who has the motivating word to help us either solve, dissolve, or strike up, or bet that particular whatever it is in our heart at the time, such that we've interacted with people through our life for a long time. We've perceived their frequency, their consciousness level, beginning from the trivial issues and little things we bring to them. He that is faithful unto little, more will be given unto him. If I go to someone for counsel for a very little thing, the level of solution he is able to proffer to me at the time, and how effective it was when I employed everything he dished out to me, will determine what I can bring to him. Should I encounter another challenge in my life again? I don't know if you are following. The reason why members will go to their pastors to say, Pastor this, and next time they go, Pastor this, and keep believing, is because there's a proven track record of frequency that aligns, that best solution to the challenge ever presented to them, right? So same thing goes here. Talking about family, how do we pour this out to friends, to people? How do I know who to share such thought patterns with, or to? Realistically, if we are to be genuine with ourselves, right? Me, I like being sincere with myself. And I have suffered hurt a lot, and I can tell, right? I know who and who I can present that to. And also timing matters, right? Because there are certain persons who might be in a very high frequency that can bet the solution to what we are about sharing with them at the time. But if their state of mind also is not at a place of rest, I think it can also bring discouragement. Let me give an example, right? Okay, I might not go into details. There was a time I needed counsel, right, from a particular person on a project. This person is really good. I've been presenting things to this person. They've always been counsel, and it has been helping a great lot, right? So at this point in time, when I sent this latest update to this particular person, I was not expecting anything short. But what I got in reverse, at that time, he lost somebody so dear to him, unknown to me, right? So what I got in reverse was more like a discouragement, not even a fragrance of counsel. And there was a way I felt so down because it's words. When you've really trusted people and their words are so strong, and they are also a building block in your journey in life. Yes, a time comes, their word almost seems like authority to you subconsciously. It just plays a role, it just has a place of authority over you. And whatever comes, be it positive or negative, it has a way of hitting you like a hammer. Yes, it's so. When his feedback got to me, like it was a discouraging feedback. So it was more like I didn't know what he was going through. Probably expected that I would have known, or I should have known he was not in that mood to give me feedback as regards something like this. I didn't know what he was going through. but the response he gave to me, like it shattered my emotions. It entered me, right? So I think timing matters, knowing the right persons, track record of our conversation with persons should actually help us in discerning, and also discerning the right time to meet people. There are some persons that when you want to engage them, if you don't see them physically, if you chat them up, you will never get the accurate response. And there are some that if you see them physically, they might not have that time. But when they see your chat, they have time to read and meditate. They might not be able to give you a quick answer, when you see face to face. But when they have time to think over what you said, they can think creatively and positively and give you a feedback that will uplift hope in you. Yes. So
All
we
right, because
understand.
of our time,
All right.
it's almost 10. Thank you very much for your very, very valuable contribution.
All right. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, Victor, Senator of the Federal Republic. Hello, Victor, are you there?
Good evening, sir.
Senator of the Federal Republic.
Good evening, sir.
How now?
I'm fine, sir. Happy Father's Day to you, sir.
Same to you.
Thank you so much for all you do for us in this group community. We really appreciate your guidance, support, dedication, consistency. Pray that you witness many more years
Thank you.
and progress joy in Jesus' name. Yes, sir. So, thank you so much, sir. I think the previous speaker has also very good what I wanted to say, because one thing that struck me was about um people's frequency. That when you speak to people, you're not really speaking to them, you are speaking to the frequency in which they operate on. That was very powerful, because sometimes you be like, why can't this person that just understand what I'm saying, like this view, like you should know more than this, but really you can't blame them, because what they are not operating from the same level, and you should not be disappointed or discouraged by how people react, especially when you try to tell them, oh, I have this dream, I have this goal I want to achieve, and they are rather dismissive. You should just know that you're not on the same plane, and you should try and protect your energy, and also and just just in most cases keep your mouth shut, or just stay with your conviction and belief and goals, and don't allow people operating from a lower frequency to truncate and discourage that which you set your mind to achieve. So that was one thing I learned today. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great, great week ahead. Bye bye.